The pharaoh in Egypt was the political and religious leader of the people and held the titles Lord of the Two Lands and High Priest of every temple. The word pharaoh is the Greek form of the Egyptian pero or pera, which was the designation of the royal residence and means great house. In 525 BC, the Persian Empire, led by King Cambyses II, invaded Egypt. They soundly defeated the Egyptian army at the Battle of Pelusium and took control of Egypt. When the Persian Empire conquered Egypt, it was the largest empire in the world. The Greek, Alexander III of Macedon, commonly known as Alexander the Great, spent several months in Egypt as part of his ongoing campaign against the mighty Persian Empire of Darius III. After conquering Egypt, Alexander was hailed as savior and liberator by the local Egyptians. After becoming the people's choice and legitimate heir, he was offered the double crown of the two lands. He was anointed as pharaoh in Memphis on 14th November 332 BC. After conquering most of the Persian Empire, Alexander the Great turned his attention to India. Here on the Indian subcontinent, he would fight some of the hardest battles of his career. Ptolemy I Soter. Ptolemy I Soter was a Macedonian general of Alexander the Great. As a result of Ptolemy's successful military performance on the way from Bactria in northeastern Afghanistan to the Indus River, he became commander of the Macedonian fleet on the Hydaspes, modern Jhelum in India. When Alexander met some local Indians who were of trouble to him, he learned that their leader was Dandamis, a swami philosopher and mystic who lived in the jungle. He then sent his army to bring Dandamis to him. When they encountered Dandamis in the forest, they told him that Alexander, the great son of Zeus, has ordered him to come to him. He will give Dandamis gold and other rewards, but if he refused, Alexander might behead him. Dandamis then said, God, the great king, is not a source of violence, but provider of water, food, light, and life. Your king cannot be a god who loves violence and who is mortal. Even if you take away my head, you cannot take away my soul, which will depart to my God and leave this body like we throw away an old garment. We, Brahman, do not love gold nor fear death. So your king has nothing to offer which I may need. Go and tell your king. Dandamis, therefore, will not come to him. If he needs Dandamis, he must come to me. Ptolemy later became ruler of Egypt and founder of the Ptolemaic dynasty, which reigned longer than any other dynasty established on the soil of the Alexandrian Empire and only succumbed to the Romans in 30 BC. He became satrap of Egypt with the adjacent Libyan and Arabian regions and methodically took advantage of the geographic isolation of the Nile territory to make it a great Hellenistic power. Ptolemy XV, Caesar, nicknamed Caesarion or Little Caesar, was the last pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt, reigning with his mother Cleopatra from 2nd September 44 BC until her death by 12th August 30 BC. Then as sole ruler until his death was ordered by the Roman Octavian. Before his death, Ptolemy fled to India. Plutarch does say that Caesarion, the last pharaoh, was sent to India, but also that he was lured back to Egypt by false promises of ruling his own kingdom.